name's Karl Hinett, 25 years old, from Birmingham. The Staffordshire Regiment who I was with, we deployed out into Basra in summer 2005 for Operation Telic 6. We got the call that we needed to be deployed to one of the local police stations where a huge riot was forming. We all jumped into our warrior's eye, sorted all my guns out, all in my turret. The riot was just getting bigger, more confident. People getting as close as they can to the warrior, trying to rev the engines to back them off a little bit. They had quickly realised that we wasn't going to openly, physically do any violence to them, but trying to maintain the crowd in the safest way possible. Obviously they got really confident, and then they started getting really close, and then that's when they started throwing petrol bombs. And being in a warrior, they just turned into huge targets really. It just led to a point where I was just completely doused in petrol, and before I knew, the second I got a smell of what I was covered in, that split second later I was on fire. And being inside a warrior turret, it's really confined, everything's metal. So it practically just turned into a big oven really. All I could feel was just terror and panic, it was just froze into place. It was only when I, realised that after a few seconds, after about 10 seconds, that if I wanted to survive, I had to get out. So I remember clambering over metal, trying to pull myself upwards out of the turret. That's why my hands were so badly damaged, because I had to grip onto burning metal. I'd passed out on top of the warrior and I rolled down onto the floor. And then I woke up again and I saw my friends rushing to me. They put me out with a fire extinguisher. They scooped me up and they carried me back to an awaiting ambulance. I'd suffered 37% burns to my body, to my face, both hands and arms, my stomach and my legs. While I was in an induced coma, I had 3 9-hour operations, skin graft on my nose, my forehead, under my arms and my hands, eventually leaving the hospital after 3 months and then going to Headley Court for rehab. I was thankful for my own injuries, because things could have been a lot worse. And it was just through being in that sort of company what really helped me get over and really accept what had happened. It was during rehab that I was told and recommended, and even knew myself, that there was no way I could go back to my old job role. It was quite hard to, process that, because how well I took to the army, and all my friends were there, how I just loved the job. I caught wind of walking with the wounded and heard of that amazing story of how 4 wounded soldiers walked to the North Pole, and there was an application going out for other wounded to climb Everest. What motivates me is the challenge. Not being a fully functional climber and being relatively new to mountaineering, this massive opportunity is here for me to really test myself and push my mental and physical limits to boundaries where I've never even experienced before. So hopefully in doing this I can prove to myself as well that it's possible if you really put your mind to it. To other wounded, being injured myself, I can't say that I know everyone's injuries. Half of you guys and girls, I think, have gone through a hell of a lot worse than myself, but it's just the spirit that we show, and knowing that we're not alone, we can move on.